All right, so you mentioned the Celtics, right? Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, possibly John
Yeah.
Wall. But there's another thing we got to talk about the Celtics, man.
Go.
And I know our lovely listeners are going to love this segment. I know they are. And we haven't mentioned this name in a while. We haven't. We've done a great job. We've done a fantastic job. But now we have no choice. We've been put in a position where we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons to the Celtics. This is not official, y'all. We're not, breaking no news. But the possibilities of it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What's up?
That's crazy.
Please talk to me.
Before we start the podcast, I posted something on AKIS NBA talking about how the Boston Celtics, it doesn't make sense for them to trade Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons. A lot of people are saying it does make sense because of Ben Simmons facilitating in defense. I'm like, okay, I get that point. But you have possibly, other than Paul George and Kawhi, like you have a wing tandem that can be like a Paul George and Kawhi for years to come. Why not go out and try to get the right proper roster to pair with those two players and then see what you have? I don't think you want to just break up something that's so dynamic. And people can talk about they tried it for years and this and that. They're young. They're young. They're still Jayson Tatum's not 25. Jaylen Brown's not 25. Like, why would you go out and like put it like this? The Boston Celtics, you get Ben Simmons. You don't even have a roster that matches Ben Simmons' strengths. Unless you go on 4 out, 1 in, and you turn Jayson Tatum into a catch and shoot player, why the hell you bringing on Ben Simmons? Like, why are you bringing on Ben Simmons? Like, are you unless you have you going Ben Simmons, attack, 4 shooters, the Giannis offense and the Milwaukee Bucks, unless you're doing something like that, it makes no sense if you're the Boston Celtics to bring on Ben Simmons, like for his strengths wise. If you bring on Ben Simmons, you basically in the same situation. It doesn't really help you. It doesn't. I don't think it hurts you. It doesn't help you, in my opinion. But if you're the Sixers, you do that trade in a heartbeat. If you you do that trade in a heartbeat,
They're gonna look at that card like shit. All right,
you do that. You do that trade in a heartbeat because you pair Jaylen Brown with Joel Embiid. Theus, listen, they gonna look like Hakeem and Clyde Drexler in their prime. That's what they're gonna look like. But like Clyde Drexler came on and he wasn't in his prime in the Houston Rockets. Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown, they're gonna look like Hakeem and Clyde Drexler in their prime. It gets serious out there in Philly if that happens.
Shout out to Houston. Damn, man, that I agree with you though. Ben and Jayson would be in a duo that I feel their strengths aren't really aligned with one another.
What
like
are you doing?
JT is more of like an isolation, just give me the ball. Everyone else kind of get the hell out the way. Ben is more like facilitator. All right, I'm gonna get the rebound, push, dish, who running with me, kick it out, knock down shooters. So they're both talented, obviously, in their own way, but I just don't really see it ultimately, really working out. Especially too, because you said with Jaylen and Jayson, they're both young. Now, at some point, we're gonna be knocking on that door of like, all right, how what is young exactly?
Yeah.
Right? Because even though, their guys are still young in age, they not rookies. Right? And so even though we might question the Celtics, all right, are they properly building around this duo? At the same time, I don't know how many years we got more of where we can start raising that question. I won't say I'm doing it now because the way the league is, but at some point, the question going to get asked. What are we doing here? Like, when does it change to, we should be in championship or bust mode?
I mean, they were in championship or bust mode. They just didn't get it done, to be honest.
I don't think they've ever been I mean, if you ask Celtics fans, sure. But realistically,
I mean, they had.
I don't look at them as,
Danny Ainge was messing around, bro. Like I go back to like Danny Ainge. Like you had all those draft picks. Like you got Robert Williams, okay, like cool. You know what I'm saying? You got Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, but it was a lot of draft picks that they still have that after those two guys. It's just kind of like Lonzo Ball was available. Lonzo Ball, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now if Lonzo Ball, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, like Lonzo Ball running that offense and getting those guys easy and open looks. Nikola Vucevic was available. So it's just kind of like a big that can play inside, outside. He was available. But it's just kind of like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, go get the right pieces first and then let us see. But it's just kind of like, let's not just say we want to break up Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum and then go get Ben Simmons, and you add Ben Simmons next to Jayson Tatum, and it's just kind of like. But like I said, hopefully it does happen because hopefully Jaylen Brown gets traded, and then so Jayson Tatum can really get the help out of there. Because if Jaylen Brown gets traded, let me tell you something. Unless you bring in a Damian Lillard back, and even that doesn't really do anything to me. Dame and Jayson Tatum, okay. They're top.
Wait, what? That doesn't do anything. What do you mean
That doesn't do anything for me. They're still. What if Jaylen Brown is traded for Damian Lillard? You got Dame and Jayson Tatum. What does that do? You think is that a championship team? I don't know. Maybe. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
maybe, but it's not like a guarantee lock, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any situation where either of these teams are in a guaranteed lock.
All I'm saying, bro, is just like the trade Jaylen Brown is kind of like you better make sure that you bring in a piece back that can really make you a championship caliber team, and you really have a chance because like Ben Simmons and Jayson Tatum is not going to be the answer. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but hopefully like we just talked about, I hope Jaylen Brown gets traded because so Jayson Tatum can get the help out of Boston. Like that's what I'm hoping. It's already coming, and then if you're the Boston Celtics, you may want to keep Jaylen Brown because let me tell you something. It's one player that's not going to re-sign to that organization. So you may want to make Jaylen Brown a little bit more happier and get his name out of trade discussions. Because there's one player, I can tell you this right now. If there's one player out of that group and they're staying, it ain't Jayson Tatum. It ain't Jayson Tatum.
Bro,
I can tell you that right
man.
now.
I mean, you never know, bro. Jayson might have the whole.
No,
he want to.
No, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. I'm telling you.
He might want to bring a city to the championship. I mean, a championship to the city that he's only played his entire NBA career with. You never know.
This man was filming a commercial with the NBA. He had a Kobe Bryant shirt.
Yeah, but that's I mean, there's a reason to it. But hey,
of course, but. It's the future. That's the real reason.
Can you imagine, bro, if Tatum does go to the Lakers? We'll combine forces, man. Like, you'll have Tatum. I'll have the Lakers win a chip. Tatum winning Finals MVP on the Lakers. We might not ever debate again. Because now, I'm like, hell yeah, you're right. Jayson Tatum, the best player in the world. Not gonna argue with you.
That's gonna be crazy when the Lakers get Jayson Tatum in his prime. Like he's gonna be entering his prime. It's gonna be serious. Like it's poor Celtics fans.
Poor Celtics fan, Dedim, though I never feel bad for him. Anyway,